Hello, friends. Gregg Braden here. Well, we made it. It's the end of this year, and nature tells us that the end of anything is the beginning of what comes next. I didn't want this year to pass without expressing to you my heartfelt thanks, my deepest gratitude for all of the care, all the love, all the trust, all of the support that has been showered upon me and my team throughout this year to make possible all the things we've accomplished. So I want to begin just by thanking you, my community, my global family, and we truly are a global family. If you look at the comments that come in on the videos, and if you have the opportunity to see any of the live events, what you see is that we truly are a global family represented by almost every nation, almost every language. Last time we checked, we had over 50 languages represented in our comment sections. And what that tells me is that we're reaching our community on a level of meaning that allows them to reach out and respond back to us. And you're letting us know that you're there. And that means so much to us. So I want to say thank you to my global family, my global community, for all that you do to support everything that we do throughout the year. I'm going to invite you to stay tuned because we have some new things that we're preparing for this new year to make it even easier for us to build this community, to stay connected. Community is going to be more important in the year 2025, and we're going to open new avenues of connection so that we can share ideas and we can hold and support one another through the changes that we all know are on the horizon for the year to come. I want to thank the team that makes it possible for me to do this. I was hoping we could all be together, and we are so geographically dispersed. We are so dispersed in age. Some of our team has babies and need to stay with their families, and others are in parts of the world that make it difficult to travel. So let me just acknowledge, first of all, Lori Wilmot. Lori is my executive director. January of 25, we will celebrate 30 years of working together. I recently asked Lori, I said, well, what do you think is the secret to our 30 years of working together? And she said, very prophetically, she said, I think the secret is that we never see one another. And I think there's probably some truth to that, although in the last few years, we have seen more of one another, and I've been blessed to have Lori travel with me to the live events that we have done. Many of you have met her. So Lori is the executive director. As I mentioned, she oversees a lot of the operations that happen behind the scenes. And Lori, thank you just doesn't do it. And you know how I feel about you. So I'm looking forward to this new year and all the new plans that we have put together for this new year. Chelsea Lucart is our social media and marketing manager, and I have to put those both under Chelsea's very big hat. I worked with Chelsea. I had the honor and the privilege of working with Chelsea when she was at Hay House. She left Hay House for a period of time, went some other directions, and within the last, well, it's been 5 years now that she contacted us, and we're so excited, so thrilled to be building all the new things that we're building with Chelsea helping us navigate the new technology that is coming so quickly. Everything from websites and AI primarily to new kinds of databases and new kinds of communications. Chris Volker is our web designer. She is a contract web designer. She works for other people as well. But Chris has always been there for us, and she's been there often on very short notice. Big demands on short notice. She always fills those boots. We are blessed, blessed, blessed to have Chris working with us. Elaine Spray works behind the scenes. Not many people know who she is. She works for Heritage Trust in northern New Mexico. And Elaine keeps us organized. She keeps us legal. She keeps us on top of all of our financial concerns. And I certainly don't know how to follow those tax laws and all those rules. And Elaine, we just appreciate you so much. I think 25, 26, 27 years that we've been working together. Rita Curtis, My bookings manager, Rita, you have been in this industry while I was in the corporations. You were working in this industry with Neil Donald Walsh and so many others, and we're blessed to have you on our team again to keep us organized and just on top of things. You know, people say, "What's the big deal about the contracts?" Well, contracts look different today than they did when I started. This is my 47th year doing this work. Contracts now commonly are 12 to 15 pages or more long, and they identify every eventuality that you could ever imagine. Rita stays on top of this for us to help us uh, be honoring of ourselves and honoring of the people that we work with. Often it's just that the ideas are so complex, and to be able to document everything in an agreement so that a year later we can go back and see what it is that we actually agreed to. It's not about necessarily trusting the people we work with. It's just helping us to stay organized. So Rita, thank you for all of that. We have a team that is an international as well. We have a London-based team that takes care of all of the YouTube channel, the social media channels like YouTube, like TikTok, like Facebook, and things like that. Vitali El Ezreal and his team working behind the scenes, along with another organization, FAM, the FAM. I want to get this right. It is the FAM network team. I wanted to honor the correct way to identify them. They work together to help me to bring you the quality videos that you see out there. And many people have commented, we put a lot of things in our videos that other people are they're charging money for. You know, this is the time in the world where I think we need to be honest, truthful, factual with one another. And if I can share something with you that can help you to make a healthy decision for yourself or your family, if I can help to identify nuances, whether it's climate change or social change, or whether it's finances and economy and Bitcoin, or whether it is the healing of the human body. I am happy and excited to offer so much of that at absolutely no charge to you on our YouTube channel. Now, I want to say something about this. We're doing such a good job. Other people are borrowing, is the word that I'll use. They are lifting our content, weaving it into their own content, often making it look as though I'm saying things that I don't say, that I'm agreeing to things I would never agree to. Most concerning, perhaps, is making thumbnails as clickbait for these videos reflecting things that I would never say in a million years. So there can be good content out there from other people, and I'm not saying don't watch it. I just want you to know there's a lot of AI, there's a lot of deep fakes, there's a lot of bootlegging, there is a lot of reorganization of my original material. Maybe I filmed with Gaia, or maybe I filmed it with Hay House, that is being repurposed on other people's channels. If it looks suspicious, it probably is. If you want to know 100% that it's mine, Gregg Braden Official. We have total control over everything on Gregg Braden Official. I have no control over the production quality, the sound, the images, or the perspectives from other people that are lifting this. So I just want to say that to you. Gregg Braden Official YouTube channel, and Vitali is the man that keeps us going strong with that across the TikTok platform as well. Because I don't do any of those personally. I am personally not engaged in social media. And that's why I'm saying thank you to so much of my team that has helped me do that. Doesn't mean that we don't read the comments. We actually have people on our team that were brought in to read the comments, honor those comments, and respond where it's appropriate to respond. If you're asking questions, we do our very best. As you can imagine, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of views. We may not get to every single one, but we do our very, very best. There are so many other people that are contract people that we work with on occasion. Our event producers, Richard Smith at TCCHE Productions, Elon Cohen, Shaloha Productions, who produce myself and a lot of my dear friends and colleagues. I just want to acknowledge, as this year comes to a close, what you have done in the past and the new year ahead, what we're about to do. And as I said, you know, nature tells us that the end of anything is the beginning of what comes next. And that's why I'm so excited about the new year. I'm inundated with people saying, Greg, aren't you afraid of the new year? Or aren't you concerned about the new year and all the darkness that's out there? So I'm an optimist and I'm a realist. So let me tell you first why I'm optimistic. I am optimistic because everything is up for grabs. All of the systems that are unsustainable are buckling and collapsing. And that means there's an opening for new opportunities and new ideas. Those kinds of openings, think about this. If everything is all buttoned up, nice and neat, everything is all locked down, it's very, very difficult to share a new idea or for a new idea to get any traction when everything is already set. We're living in a time where the systems of our world, and unfortunately, it is most of the systems because most of the systems are unsustainable in their present form. So, whether we're talking about religious systems or social systems or climatic conversations or financial or economic or political, you all know what's going on in the world. And I am beginning in the new year. We also have a new YouTube channel to help you zero in on what you need to know in the new world. That's actually the title of the new channel is called Need to Know. And it is my opportunity to help you filter through so much of the misinformation, the disinformation, and share with you the science, share with you the research as I know it in the moment. And I want to tell you, science is designed to be constantly upgraded. Anybody that tells you a conversation is settled, they are going against the very grain of science. Science is designed to be updated as new information comes to light. And it is a very fluid system. It is not a static system. And that's why it's hard to sift through all of this. As a scientist, I'm a degreed scientist. I've learned to read through the technical papers. There is an art and a skill to reading technical papers, to being able to call the essence of what they're saying, to find out the validity, to look at the research. I'm offering to be your intermediate to help you with that because you and I are going to be faced with some big decisions in the new year. And that's why I'm optimistic as well. Now, I said I'm an optimist, I'm also a realist. Realistically, we will be challenged and we will be tested in the new year. We will be challenged probably in ways that are more profound than we have seen in our lifetimes for this reason. It's often said that 2024 was a year of chaos, and I think many of you will certainly agree. We saw a lot of chaos on a lot of different levels. A lot of that chaos had to do with revelation of false narratives, the revelation of information that was designed to lead us in certain directions that benefit others, but don't necessarily benefit us. 2025 is, I think, my sense, is going to be the year of choice. We must choose. We will be presented with the opportunities to make profound choices in our lives. That sounds like a good thing, right? Well, here's the deal. We'll be asked to make those choices based on the information that's been fed to us through the algorithms in mainstream media, through social media, through YouTube channels, because those algorithms are designed to lead us to arrive at certain conclusions. And maybe those are good for us, and maybe they're not. I want you to make that decision for yourself and for your family. How can you do that if you don't have the information? It's been said that knowledge is power. Lack of knowledge is lack of power. So the more we know, the better we know our relationship to the world, the more you know about yourself, the less you're going to fear those changes in the world. Where it gets really exciting for me is the better you know yourself, the less you're going to fear your own power. And the more you embrace your own power, the more I embrace my own power because we're in this together. That is where we find our strength in the world. And much of our power is directly linked to our values. We will be challenged to claim the values that we cherish when it comes to family, when it comes to community, when it comes to faith, when it comes to our bodies, when it comes to peace on this planet. And through the new information that I'll be sharing with you through the Need to Know website, the Need to Know YouTube channel, I'm going to give you the reasons to see yourselves differently and to make the choices that support you and the values that you hold and the values that you cherish in the world. I'm in this with you. You know, we're in this together, and that's why family and community is so important. That's why I want to do more to create a bigger family as we go through this world together. You know, as I said, this is the 47th year I've done this work, one form or another. I've had a number of people ask me, Greg, are you winding down? Are you retiring? Are you, aren't you going to scale back a little bit? I have to tell you, I have to tell you that that has not even crossed my mind. It's not on my radar. I feel awesome. I'm excited about the world. I love you. I love this world. And rather than scaling back, we're scaling up. We're building out. We're looking for new avenues and designing new avenues based on new technology to bring us together in healthy ways so that we can navigate the unprecedented changes in this world, ways that we've never seen before. You know, I'm looking at a note here because I wanted to make sure that I mention this. Buckminster Fuller, I think, probably said it best, and I think most of you are familiar with who he was. He passed in the 1980s. I never met him. I wish I had of. I wish I could have met Buckminster Fuller. You probably know him best as the architect of the geodesic dome that we see in so much of our architecture today, but he was much, much more than that. He was a deep, deep thinker, a deep philosopher. I think one of the most powerful things Buckminster Fuller ever said to us was he said, and I'll paraphrase this because I don't have his quote in front of me, but he said, "You're never going to change the world by fighting against the things that you don't like." He said, "If you want a new world, find a new way that makes the old way obsolete. People will follow the new way and the old way falls away." I think there's a lot of truth to that. Now, I want you to think about this because there are a lot of people out there that want to divide us as families, as communities, as societies, as nations, as a planet. And they're weaponizing the values, they're weaponizing the ideas that we cherish as families and communities and societies and as nations. They're weaponizing the conversations. We need to have the conversations in a kind way. They're being weaponized to divide us. Rather than fighting against what we don't want, this year is going to be an opportunity for us to create and build and move into what we do want. And that's a very different way of thinking. I'm going to invite you, I'll challenge you in this new year. When you find yourself wanting to fall into the old trap of fighting against, maybe sometimes we need to. I'm not saying that we don't. See if the idea, rather than fighting against, if building something new to move forward rather than fighting against the things behind you might serve you and your family and your community. And together as a global family, I think this is the opportunity, and that's why I'm so excited. You know, together in the new year, it's all about love. It's all about love. The choice that we're being faced with is, do we love ourselves enough to embrace the deep truth of who we are and what it means to be human and the power that lives within our humanness? It's not a question that we answer through our words. We answer it by the way we live our lives. Do you love yourself enough to embrace the deep truth of who you are and what's possible in your life? I think together this new year, what's so exciting to me is we are going to love this world. We're going to love this world. We're going to love ourselves. We're going to love this world into the peace that we know is possible. We're going to do it together. And that is why I'm so deeply grateful to be here with you and to know you, not just as my friends, not just as my community, but as my family, as my brothers and sisters. I love you all. Thank you for the year that's been. I look forward to the year ahead, and happiest, happiest, happiest of holy days in this new year to everyone.
I see history repeating itself. And I hear the people crying for help. And I've witnessed what weapons of hate and ignorance can do. And I feel the thunder and the lightning striking us in two. And I hear the sirens singing in the middle of the night, telling me in their own language things are not quite right. And I feel this battle going on inside my own head, but there is no running from this river running red. And where do we find the courage to make it through these tears? And how do we find the strength to love instead of fear? And I've seen the rainbows appear out of the clouds, and I hear that whispering voice inside the maddening crowd. I will never forget this promise to not give up this fight for peace, for justice, for the stillness of the night. And where do we find the courage to make it through these tears? And how do we find the strength to love instead of fear? 1,000 or maybe more fireflies dancing into God's thighs. 1 million or maybe more butterflies. This is what our prayers look like when they reach the other side. They go dancing into the dark. They go flying into our hearts. They go dancing, they go flying, they go dancing into the dark. This is what our